Welcome! My name is Debbie and this is Pouring My Art Out for the Lord, and I have a special treat for you today. I am going to do a review of these Bibles, these spiral Bibles from Crossway. I don't often do reviews on my channel, but I have fallen in love with these Bibles. They first came out several months ago, but I just got my copy just now, and I just love everything about these Bibles that I just want to share what I have seen in these. So maybe you haven't seen them, maybe you have, but I just wanted to do a little review of these. So what is it? It is the Bible. It is the English Standard Version of the Bible, which is the version that I always use for everything I read, I study. I can use, I do use some other translations once in a while to, just look at different nuances of words and that sort of thing, but this is my main go-to. And the English Standard Version of the Bible is owned by Crossway. So Crossway publishes these Bibles. This whole stack of Bibles, or this is one Bible, so the whole stack of the Bible, the 5 volumes, is 5 inches tall. So it's a really substantial, let's see if I can show you here, a really substantial stack. And the reason that it's so big is because there's lots of journaling space. So that's what I really, really love about it. One of the things I really love about it. You can see here the color palette. I just love the color palette. It's just kind of a muted vintage colors, and I think it's probably like a timeless appeal to these sorts of colors. They're not kind of really popular now, and in 10 years we won't like them. I don't know. I just feel like they're timeless, beautiful colors. And the Bible, each volume, there's 5 volumes, like I said. Each book is about 8.5 by 11, not including the spine. So a really generous size to the Bible. And like I said, there's 5 volumes. So we have the Pentateuch, we have the history books of the Old Testament, we have the poetry books of the Old Testament, the prophets of the Old Testament. That's, I think, the thickest one. And the New Testament is all in one book. So you can just purchase them individually, or you can purchase the whole set at once, and then have all of the pieces here. So I just want to show you inside. Here is what the text looks like. The margin is 3.5 inches wide. So we've got a really large, and I mean, it's because the page is so big, there is a lot of journaling space for your notes, for your illustrations, your art, whatever you would like to put on there. And the text on this side is very widely spaced, probably 1.5 to 2, somewhere in there, spaced, lines spaced. So you can highlight, you can even write little notes in between the lines of the text there. And because there is, it's only one column, it's generously spaced, you can do, if you're, when you're Bible journaling, sometimes you'll want to do like 3 different things for one chapter. Well, in this book, you could do 1 for chapter 14 there, 1 for chapter 14 there, and 1 for chapter 14 or 15 there. So you've got, because it's, a big book, and because of the spacing and the single columns, you've got a lot of space to do what you want to do. I don't know how many pages of the Bible. I didn't actually, yeah. Kind of interesting to see how many pages. Like, this is just the first one for 314 pages. And I think, like I said, I think the Prophets is the largest one. And it is 400 and almost 500 pages, 494 pages, so it's considerable. I really like that this is, let me just maybe take one volume here. I really like that it's built to endure. Like, I feel like this could be, you know, the heirloom Bible that I share with my children and grandchildren. It's got a really sturdy cover, kind of a, you know, like a hardcover book would be. It's got a metal spiral, so, you know, the plastic spirals, sometimes they'll get bent out of shape and you know, kind of fall apart over the years, and this, you know, this should endure, you know, for years, for generations. And it makes the pages turn so smoothly, whereas sometimes the plastic ones can get bound up. I love the paper in here. The paper is, I keep brushing away these little, we have two big black dogs, and they are not allowed in my craft space, but somehow their hair just seems to travel anyways. The paper is kind of a cream color. Let me just grab, this is a piece of white paper. So I don't know if you can see it in the camera. Close my curtain there. So if you can see in the camera there, the difference between the cream and the white. So I really like that. It makes it really a lot easier on my eyes to read with the cream colored. So I really like that. And the pages are thin, but not as thin as a Bible page. So there's, you know, there's a good weight to them. They're not as thick as like a kind of a paperback page, but they're a better quality paper than a paperback page. You know, a paperback page, they're kind of have that rough, recycled feel, whereas these are, you know, super smooth and thin, but, you know, you can feel the quality of the paper as well. So I really, really like that. Like I said, the margins are about 3.5 inches. If you go into some of the poetry books or the prophets, and like if you look at the Psalms here, then you've got even more space because, you know, it's set up as poetry would be set up. So here, you know, you've got about 4 3/4 inches of space there. So lots and lots of space to write. Write, illustrate, whatever. I like to I don't like to obliterate the text. I like to have my design and my notes where the text is not. Some people will obliterate the text and it looks beautiful. It's, you know, kind of a better composition through the whole page or whatever, and that's fine. But for me, I don't like to cover the words. I can highlight the words and things, but I don't want to cover them. So I really have no reason to cover them when I have this much space, which is one thing I really, really like about that. If you're doing like an inductive study or something, you can highlight the words and even write in between the lines, like there's that much room to kind of write there. What else did I want to say about that? I should go through the books and just tell you what is in each book. Get them all up here again. So the first one is the Pentateuch, and the Pentateuch is the first 5 books of the Old Testament. First 5 books of the Bible. So we have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And then the next one is the history books of the Old Testament. And here we have Joshua, Judges, Ruth, 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, 1st and 2nd Chronicles, Ezra, Nehemiah, and Esther. And then we have the prophets. Well, actually, poetry probably comes first. We have Job, Psalms, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Song of Solomon in there. And then in the prophets, we have the major and minor prophets. So we have Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel, and Daniel, and then the 12 minor prophets in there. And then the New Testament is the entire New Testament. So from Matthew to Revelation. And I noticed in the New Testament, especially, and probably some of the Old Testament books as well, I didn't look at every single one, but if you look at the beginning of a book, so this one doesn't, but this one, so here's Philippians, and here's like just the ending of Ephesians, and then it kind of goes to the bottom, and then they have a whole blank page here. So you can do kind of a big title page for Philippians if you want. And it looks like most of the New Testament books will have that. There's one for James. I think it depends on how the previous page ends. So this one, it ends here so that you have this space that you could start a new book. So it doesn't have the complete full page there. So, but that's how they are laid out. There is a little bit of just footnotes, no study notes or anything like that. That would make these books way too big. So what I decided to do is to do a bit of a pen test, which is often what we Bible journalers do. If someone from Crossway is listening, it would be great for you to put at the back of journaling Bibles a page that says pen tests. And then we could test our pens on those pages. This one is the weights and measures, which is usually our go-to for testing. We sacrificed this page. I decided to rip this one out of the book. I think it was out of the poetry book, because I didn't want to bleed through to the actual Bible if it happened to bleed through, which it did not. But so I ripped this one out. But it would be wonderful to have a journaling Bible with a page or two at the back that said pen tests, and we could just use that for pen tests and not have to sacrifice the weights and measure page. So just a little hint there if Crossway wants to do something for us, for us Bible journalers. So I did just a bunch of various things here. I tested a bunch of different pens. So I have these Smash pens from years ago. I have 4 or 5 of them, and they write really nice. They're a kind of a felt pen, but really fine line. So I thought I would try those, and they work perfectly. And this, where's it? This Illustrated Faith pen is very similar to that. And if you look at the back, you can't see any ghosting at all. Maybe if you hold it up to the light, but if you have it down on another page, the camera picks up things differently than my eye, so I'll have to see what it says and looks like in the camera, but to my eye, I see nothing there. So that's the Smash pen, the Illustrated Faith pen, and then a couple other pens that I have found that are recommended for Bibles. Jet Pens actually calls this their number one pen for Bibles, and it's called the Unijetstream, and it's a 0.5 pen. So I have that one down here. And then this is another one that's recommended, either the Pilot G2, which is hard to get in Canada for some reason, I don't know why, but this is a similar one, I think, and it's a 0.05 as well. And again, I don't see those at all on the back there. So those are great pens. This is a thicker pen that I don't always use for notes because it is thicker, but a Zebra Flight pen. I do like to use the pens. They are really nice pens to use, but they're a thicker pen. And again, I see nothing on there. Then I have my Micron Pigma pens, which are a popular pen for the Bibles. This set is the Inductive Bible Study set, and the black and the red are fine 01, and the rest of the colors are medium 05. So I tried all of those out there. And again, I can't see anything on the back there at all. I have several of these Tombow markers. I used to use these to do stamping with art impressions. I don't know if you've ever heard of art impressions. I'm going to do some of that this coming year in this Bible. So if you're not familiar with it, I'll show you how to use them. It's a really neat technique. But I just tried a couple of them here, and again, I see nothing here from those. Those are right there. I used my my mild liners, which are another favorite for Bibles. And I tried all of my colors. Some of them I wouldn't use for just highlighting because they're too dark, like the brown one and this purpley pink one. Probably this blue one. I would use some of the lighter colors for highlighting text. Some of those you can see some ghosting there, even a tiny, maybe a little bit of, it's not really bleed through, but it's on this dark blue one there. I probably paused at the end there. So those ones are the ones that show through the most of anything I tried. But if you stick to the lighter colors, or, you know, if you're planning to do on both sides of the paper, then it doesn't matter. You can, you know, you've got in the books here, you've got the margin here, and when you turn the page, the margin is in the same spot on the paper. So if you do something here and it bleeds through or ghosts and you don't like it, you can always just do something on the other side, and that will eliminate that. Another thing I didn't mention is you can wrap these around completely, and you know, then you have a smaller space. If you have, say you like working on the couch, or, you know, cross-legged on your bed or something like that, you automatically have this hard surface to work on. You don't need to have a desk. And it's just, you know, it makes it a lot more portable. When you're writing here, the coils are not in the way for anything, and when you're writing here, the coils are not in the way because the margins are away from the coils. And even on the left hand, I think, if you were doing, I'm not left-handed, yeah, for left-handed it would be the same thing. So that is a really great design feature as well. Then I also used some archival black ink to stamp from Ranger, and this is jet black and nothing, you can't see it at all. I stamped these 3 flowers with the archival black ink as well, and then I colored them in. I colored this one in with Distress watercolor pencils from Tim Holtz, and I colored this one in with Inktense from Derwent. And when I color in with these, I just take my paintbrush, I'll dip it into water, and then I'll just take some color off of here instead of coloring directly on here and then using a wet paintbrush to move it around. I don't think that would probably do well, but if you just take it, you know, a damp paintbrush, you kind of can do this and get the color and do this. It worked really well. There's a little bit of rippling here, but I think if you did it in the middle of your Bible and then closed your Bible, the weight of the pages would probably iron most of that out. But you don't see any bleed through or anything on there. Let's see, a tiny bit there. I don't know if that's a bit, you can just see a tiny little bit of pink there, but I am very impressed with the pages. You know, they're thin, but they're a quality paper, and they're not as thin as a Bible page, and really you can, you know, obviously you're not going to want to throw everything, you know, to them, but the kinds of things that I use, I was very impressed with how that worked on there. So if you know, if you have these, do a pen test, use your weights and measures page, and I'll continue to add things here as I decide to use them as I go. I actually was sent these by Crossway for my review, but I really loved these Bibles before they even sent them to me. I was hoping to have them eventually, and I thought this would be a wonderful Christmas present. So, you know, if you like these Bibles, this would be, you know, a beautiful heirloom Bible to do your work on. You could work in these for years before they fill up. And yeah, tell your hubby or your children that you would love these for a Christmas present. I bet you that would be a really great thing to open on Christmas morning. So, and they're so well made. They're so sturdy and well made that I think they would last, you know, for generations. I really feel like this is an heirloom Bible piece. So what am I going to do with these? I decided that starting in 2025, I'm going to do a weekly-ish Bible study segment on my YouTube channel. I do have a membership group right now with a private YouTube channel, and I do videos. Right now I'm doing videos almost every single day. So, and those are all Bible study and journaling. Not in here, we make our journals in that one. But I'm doing lots of YouTube videos with Bible study, but not for my public YouTube channel. But I think I'm going to start doing that. That's my plan. So I'm going to work through these on a semi-weekly basis. I'm not going to commit myself to every single Wednesday for the rest of 2025 or something. I'm, you know, going to kind of do it as I can. But I'm aiming for weekly. And I want to go through, you know, I read devotionals, morning and evening by Spurgeon, New Morning Mercies by Paul Tripp. I love this book. I thought those would be wonderful to kind of make notes here, maybe, you know, some sort of illustration. I do lots of different Bible studies, different Bible study techniques, you know, inductive Bible, verse mapping. There's some ones that I want to try. 7 Arrows is one of the ones I want to try. There's lots of things that I want to try. Just even to do, you know, if a psalm particularly moves me, you know, maybe I can just do, you know, an art piece highlighting the verse or something like that, and dating things. I love to make digitals as well, so I might make, you know, a little bit of digital stickers. You can use washi stickers, all kinds of things on here. So I'm hoping to just, you know, explore different techniques, different study methods as I study the Bible and enjoy it through these beautiful books. So that is my plan for the year. Let me know what you think of that plan. If you are looking forward to watching that, if you have any comments or ideas for me to work through these Bibles, I would love to hear from you for that. And I just want to thank Crossway for graciously sending me these. I absolutely love them, and I will use them joyfully, and I want to share that with my community because I just think it's a wonderful product. So blessings, and we'll see you soon in the next video.